When the first ice hits, the wrong SUV becomes a liability, especially for older drivers who cannot afford a slip, a bad view, or a nervous drive. These 10 all-wheel drive SUVs are the ones seniors quietly trust. Steady in snow, easy to live with, and cheaper than people expect. Number 1 is the smartest winter pick. The rule before the list is simple. All-wheel drive helps you move, but it does not replace tires, brakes, visibility, heat, or driver comfort. That is where many used SUV buyers get tricked. A salesman points at the badge on the tailgate, says it has all-wheel drive, and acts like winter is solved. It is not. I want the vehicle that starts cold, warms up fast, clears the windshield, fits the driver, has good tires, and gives a clear view before the road turns white. For older drivers, that matters even more. A senior does not need a giant truck that is hard to climb into. They need confidence, wide doors, friendly seat height, simple controls, good mirrors, a steady heater, predictable brakes, a cargo area that does not punish your back. This countdown is not about off-road bragging. It is about icy driveways, snowy grocery lots, wet hills, doctor visits, church mornings, and getting home without drama. For every SUV here, we will name the main winter reason. Give the proof or data point. Explain why it matters. Show the buyer impact. Give a clear warning. And end with the next reason to keep watching. If this kind of winter SUV truth helps, subscribe. We separate reliable snow choices from costly used car mistakes before you buy. Number 10. Mitsubishi Outlander Sport AWD. The main buying reason is budget winter traction without a giant payment. This Mitsubishi is not famous, and that quiet reputation is exactly why the value can be strong for an older driver who wants all-wheel drive without paying Honda or Toyota money. The best years to focus on are 2011 through 2015, especially if the service records are clear and the tires match. According to RepairPal, the Outlander Sport has an average annual repair cost of around $498, which sits below the compact SUV average they list. Here's why it matters. A senior on fixed income needs more than snow confidence. They need repair costs that do not wreck the month. This SUV is small enough to park easily, tall enough to step into without dropping down like a sedan, and simple enough that the controls do not feel like a computer project. The all-wheel drive system is not for rock crawling. It is for snowy neighborhood streets, slushy parking lots, wet hills, and normal winter errands. For buyers, that means the Outlander Sport can be a sensible winter helper if the transmission is healthy. Used prices usually run around $5,000 to $10,000, with cleaner all-wheel drive examples near the upper end. The red flag is the continuously variable transmission. Drive it fully warm. Listen for whining. Feel for shuddering. Make sure acceleration is smooth from a stop. Check matching tires, suspension noise, rust underneath, brake feel, heater output, all-wheel drive warning lights, and maintenance records. Also, test the rear hatch and cargo height, because a senior should not fight the bumper with grocery bags. Choose this one when you want cheaper. All-wheel drive, easy parking, simple size, and winter confidence without prestige pricing. If the CVT acts strangely, the tires do not match, or the seller has no records, walk away. This Mitsubishi is the quiet budget pick, but number 9 gives seniors cheap domestic parts and a more familiar Ford feel. Number 9. Ford Escape AWD. The main buying reason is familiar domestic repair with a winter-friendly shape. The right Escape is not fancy, but fancy is not what keeps an older driver calm on an icy morning. I would focus on 2009 through 2012 with the 2.5 four-cylinder, not the later 1.6 EcoBoost version. According to RepairPal, the Ford Escape averages around $600 a year in repairs, above the compact SUV average. So the value here is familiar parts and simple repair access, not the lowest maintenance cost. Here's why it matters. A winter SUV that needs a specialist for every small issue is not relaxing. The older Escape is upright, square, easy to see out of, and familiar to almost every repair shop in town. The all-wheel drive version gives useful confidence on snowy driveways, wet hills, slushy side streets, and grocery store lots where a front-wheel drive car can spin. For buyers, that means you get practical utility without paying the Toyota tax. Current prices usually run around $4,000 to $9,000, with clean all-wheel drive examples higher than front-drive ones. That price gap is the winter premium, and in a snow state, it can be worth paying if the underside is clean. The 2.5 engine is naturally aspirated, parts are common, and the repair path is simple. The automatic still needs a real test drive, but the whole vehicle is easier to understand than many newer small SUVs. Inspect rear quarters, rocker panels, subframe points, brake lines, rear suspension areas, warm transmission shifts, front-end clunks, motor mounts, water pump leaks, heater output, battery strength, tires, and all-wheel drive operation. A winter SUV with weak tires is just confidence theater. Choose this one when you want cheaper domestic repairs, useful all-wheel drive, and a small SUV that does not need dealer drama. If rust is deep, the transmission shifts badly, or the tires are mismatched, the bargain disappears. The Escape is the domestic value play, but number 8 lowers the step in height and still keeps Subaru's winter confidence. Number 8. Subaru Outback. The main buying reason is low-step winter confidence for drivers who do not want to climb into a tall SUV. Some older drivers do not need more height. They need traction, visibility, cargo room, and a calm seating position. That is why the 2015 through 2019 Outback belongs here, even if people argue whether it is a wagon or an SUV. Used buyers cross-shop it with small SUVs because it gives ground clearance, cargo space, all-weather grip, and a higher seating feel without a truck-like climb. According to Kelley Blue Book Senior-Friendly Vehicle Guidance, access, visibility, comfort, and safety features matter a lot for older drivers. Here's why it matters. Winter stress starts before the vehicle moves. If the driver struggles to get in, reach the wheel, see out, or load the cargo area, the vehicle is wrong even if the badge is right. Subaru's standard symmetrical all-wheel drive is the winter proof point, but the Outback's real senior advantage is daily ease. The roof is not too tall, the cargo floor is lower than many SUVs, the seats are not buried low, and outward visibility is strong. Current prices usually run around $10,000 to $18,000, depending on mileage, trim, and service history. The normal pick is the 2.5 four-cylinder for lower running costs. The warning is the CVT, tire matching, wheel bearings, oil level, and maintenance history. Inspect warm CVT behavior, all-wheel drive binding, wheel bearing hum, oil consumption, coolant condition, suspension wear, battery strength, headlight clarity, tires, and eyesight safety functions if equipped. All 4 tires should match closely, because Subaru's all-wheel drive does not like mismatched rubber. Choose this one when you want low-step access, winter traction, good visibility, and a calm wagon-style SUV that does not make every errand feel like a climb. If worn tires or a noisy CVT show up, slow down. The Outback is easy to live with, but number 7 gives seniors a softer seat and more traditional SUV comfort. Number 7. Hyundai Santa Fe AWD. The main buying reason is comfort value, because not every senior wants a tight, compact SUV. The 2010 through 2012 Santa Fe with a 3.5 V6 and 6-speed automatic can be a quiet middle ground between too small, too big, and too expensive. It gives a softer, roomier feel than many compact SUVs, but it avoids the size and thirst of a full-size truck. The all-wheel drive system gives useful traction for snow-covered streets, icy driveways, wet hills, and winter errands. Kelley Blue Book says used values vary greatly by mileage, condition, and location. So the value starts only when a clean Santa Fe is priced below comparable Highlander and CR-V listings in your area. Here's why it matters. Seniors often care about how a vehicle feels before they care about spec sheet wins. The Santa Fe feels easy to settle into. Doors open wide. Seat height is friendly. The ride is soft. The cabin has more shoulder room than many smaller crossovers. That matters when someone has stiff knees, a winter coat, or a passenger who needs more space getting in. For buyers, the financial case is simple. Current prices usually run around $5,000 to $10,000, with clean all-wheel drive limited trims higher. That can be thousands less than a comparable Toyota, while still giving real winter usefulness. The 3.5 V6 is smoother than small four-cylinder crossovers, and the 6-speed automatic keeps highway driving relaxed. The trade-off is fuel use, so this is not the cheapest at the pump. It is the comfort value pick. Inspect warm shifts, all-wheel drive operation, rust, suspension clunks, oil leaks, coolant condition, rear hatch struts, heater strength, air conditioning, tire matching, and timing chain noise. Make sure the heat gets strong quickly, because winter confidence starts inside the cabin. Choose this one when you want a comfortable all-wheel drive, more cabin room, and a winter SUV that costs less than a Highlander. If the transmission slips, the underside is crusty, or the tires are poor, keep shopping. The Santa Fe brings comfort value, but number 6 gives a tighter, more controlled feel when winter roads get messy. Number 6. Mazda CX-5 AWD. The main buying reason is control, because a winter SUV should not feel loose when the road gets slick. Some seniors do not want a big, soft crossover that leans through every turn and feels vague over icy pavement. They want something easy to park, easy to place in the lane, and clear in its reactions. That is why the 2013 through 2016 non-turbo Mazda CX-5 belongs here. According to RepairPal, Mazda CX-5 repair costs are reasonable for the class, and that fits the low running cost angle. Here's why it matters. Winter confidence is not only about moving from a stop, it is also about feeling what the tires are doing. The CX-5 all-wheel drive system helps on wet, snowy, and icy roads, but the bigger strength is how predictable the vehicle feels through the steering wheel and brake pedal. For buyers, that means less guesswork in messy weather. Used prices usually run around $8,000 to $14,000, with clean all-wheel drive touring and grand touring trims higher. The non-turbo, Skyactiv 4-cylinder and 6-speed automatic is the setup I would chase. No turbo heat, no heavy V6 fuel bills, no oversized truck feel, and no luxury air suspension. The cabin is not huge, but it gives decent visibility, manageable width, straightforward controls, and a useful cargo area. Inspect all-wheel drive operation, transmission shifts, suspension noise, brake feel, tires, infotainment function, rust underneath, oil leaks, and service records. Check the tires carefully because winter confidence depends on rubber first, drivetrain second. Choose this one when you want controlled winter driving, low running costs, and a compact SUV that still feels alert. It is a strong pick for seniors who still enjoy driving, but do not want a big truck. If the suspension clunks, the tires are cheap, or warning lights are on, the Mazda advantage is gone. Also, make sure the seat fits the driver. Some seniors love the firm Mazda feel, while others prefer softer cushioning and lighter steering. Safety starts with the driver feeling settled. The Mazda feels controlled, but number 5 gives seniors one of the easiest cabins to trust. Number 5. Honda CR-V AWD. The main buying reason is easy living, and that is why so many careful buyers end up here. The 2012 through 2014 CR-V does not need to act tough. Its strength is how simple, clear, and reliable it feels every day. The all-wheel drive system is not a trail system, but with good tires, it gives seniors the extra traction they want in snow, slush, wet driveways, and icy neighborhood streets. According to Kelley Blue Book, the CR-V checks important older driver boxes like access, visibility, comfort, and safety features, and RepairPal lists the CR-V with a lower annual repair cost than the compact SUV average. Here's why it matters. Older drivers need confidence before bad weather starts. Friendly seat height, wide doors, easy cargo loading, familiar controls, and good visibility all reduce stress. For buyers, the CR-V gives a strong mix of winter usefulness, low repair cost, and resale strength. Current prices usually run around $9,000 to $16,000, depending on mileage, trim, all-wheel drive, and records. It costs more than some rivals because people trust it. The 2.4-liter K-Series, 4-cylinder and 5-speed automatic in these years keep the drivetrain simple. No turbo, no CVT in these years, no heavy V6 fuel bills. Inspect all-wheel drive function, rear differential fluid history, transmission shifts, air conditioning, suspension clunks, engine mounts, oil leaks, rust, tires, brakes, battery strength, heater output, and defroster performance. Also, test entry and exit from the driver's seat. The right winter SUV has to fit the driver's body, not just the driveway. Choose this one when you want easy access, Honda reliability, lower repair costs, and winter confidence without full-size SUV bulk. If the rear differential groans, the air conditioning fails, or the tires are worn, negotiate hard or walk. I like the CR-V for seniors who want fewer surprises. It does not feel expensive or dramatic. It just does the basics right. Familiar controls can be safety when the road gets icy. The CR-V is easy and sensible, but number 4 gives seniors more room, more comfort, and Toyota V6 strength. Subscribe if you want winter SUV advice without dealership noise. We check traction, visibility, repairs, and comfort before the seller talks price. Number 4. Toyota Highlander, AWD. The main reason for buying is calm family comfort with Toyota's long life. A 2008 through 2013. Highlander with the 3.5 V6 is not exciting, but older drivers usually want calm, comfortable, and predictable before excitement when roads turn icy. This generation gives a softer ride, more room than a compact SUV, and a size that still feels more manageable than a giant truck. The available all-wheel drive system gives steady winter confidence for suburban roads, rural driveways, slick hills, and family visits in bad weather. According to IC Cars longevity data, Toyota models dominate many of the longest-lasting vehicle lists, and Highlander models have a strong high-mileage reputation. Here's why it matters. A winter SUV should not only survive one storm, it should stay useful for years. The 3.5 V6 and conventional automatic give the Highlander a relaxed, long-life personality. The engine has enough power to move the vehicle without strain, and it avoids the tiny turbo feeling some older buyers dislike. For buyers, that means predictable ownership, strong resale, and comfort that does not feel fragile. Current prices usually run around $8,000 to $16,000, with clean, all-wheel drive limited trims higher. It is not the lowest running cost choice here, but the costs are easier to justify when maintenance is documented. Inspect water pump, oil leaks, transmission shifts, all-wheel drive operation, rear differential service, suspension wear, brakes, rust, air conditioning, heater strength, power liftgate, and tire matching. Also, make sure the driver can see the corners well enough. Because the Highlander is larger than a CR-V or RAV4, choose this one when you want comfortable all-wheel drive, Toyota durability, and extra room without buying a giant SUV. It works well for seniors who carry passengers, grandkids, luggage, walkers, or medical gear. If the size feels stressful in a parking lot, do not force it. The best winter SUV is the one the driver uses calmly every day. The Highlander is the calm Toyota, but number 3 gives that comfort with Lexus quiet and easier long-distance miles. Number 3. Lexus RX 350 AWD. The main buying reason is quiet comfort without stepping into scary luxury repair territory. Luxury can be a money trap, but the right Lexus RX is comfortable, quiet, and still understands reliability. The 2010 through 2015 RX 350 all-wheel drive is the most comfortable winter pick on this list for seniors who want a soft ride, easy entry, and less road noise. According to IC Cars longevity data, Lexus models rank strongly for long life, and the RX has one of the better reputations among used luxury SUVs. Here's why it matters. Winter driving is tiring, and fatigue can make a careful driver less confident. The RX lowers stress. It has a smooth cabin, friendly seat height, good visibility, soft suspension, and a proven Toyota family 3.5 V6. For buyers, that means you get comfort without the same repair fear that follows many German luxury SUVs. Current prices usually run around $11,000 to $22,000, depending on mileage, trim, all-wheel drive, and records. That is a wide range, but remember what it cost new. Depreciation has already done a lot of work for the used buyer. Inspect all-wheel drive operation, oil leaks, water pump, transmission shifts, suspension, tire wear, power liftgate, navigation, seat motors, premium audio, heater, defroster, battery strength, and headlight clarity. A luxury SUV with dead comfort features can become annoying fast. Choose this one when you want quiet comfort, winter confidence, and Toyota family reliability in a softer luxury SUV. If maintenance was skipped, tires are cheap, or the electronics are flaky, keep shopping. Lexus comfort is only a bargain when the basics are clean. I like it for seniors who value calm more than cargo space, and who want the vehicle to feel peaceful on cold mornings. It also helps passengers who need a gentle ride over broken winter pavement. The RX does not have the capability to shout. It reduces tension. That is its strength. The Lexus gives comfort. But number 2 is the reliable compact SUV that keeps winter ownership simple and affordable. Number 2, Toyota RAV4 AWD. The main buying reason is predictable winter ownership in a size most seniors can live with every day. The 2013 through 2018 RAV4 with the 2.54 cylinder is popular for a boring reason. It keeps making sense after the test drive is over. It gives a friendly size, reliable drivetrain, useful cargo area, and all-wheel drive confidence without the bulk of a truck. According to Kelley Blue Book used pricing, these RAV4 models hold value strongly, and that resale strength is part of why seniors trust them. Here's why it matters. A cheaper SUV that breaks more often is not truly cheaper. The RAV4 costs more than some rivals because the ownership story is easier to trust. The all-wheel drive system helps on snowy roads, icy driveways, slushy grocery lots, and winter errands. The seating position is friendly, the doors are easy, the cabin layout is simple, and the cargo area works for groceries, walkers, bags, and grandkid visits. For buyers, that means less drama and stronger resale if they sell later. Current prices usually run around $12,000 to $20,000, depending on year, mileage, trim, all-wheel drive, and condition. Inspect all-wheel drive operation, transmission shifts, oil leaks, water pump, rear differential service, suspension noise, rust, tires, brakes, accident history, heater, defroster, battery age, and rear hatch function. Make sure the driver can see comfortably from the seat. Choose this one when you want reliable all-wheel drive, easy size, strong resale, and winter confidence with low drama. I would rather buy a simpler RAV4 with good tires and a clear service history than a loaded one with accident repairs and mismatched rubber. Tires matter here. All-wheel drive helps you move, but tires decide how you stop. A RAV4 on old cheap tires is not safer than a lesser SUV on good winter tires. Older drivers need predictable behavior more than extra buttons they may never use. The RAV4 is the safe value pick, but number 1 is the SUV seniors trust most when visibility and snow traction matter together. Number 1. Subaru Forester AWD. The main buying reason is the rare mix of visibility, traction, easy access, and manageable size. If I had to pick one affordable winter SUV for an older driver, the 2014 through 2018 Forester is where I would start. It does not win because it is fancy. It wins because the things seniors actually feel in winter all line up. Clear glass, upright seating, standard all-wheel drive, friendly step-in height, easy cargo access, and a size that does not feel like a truck. According to Kelley Blue Book senior-friendly guidance, visibility and access matter for older drivers, and the Forester delivers those in a way many modern crossovers do not. According to iSeeCars' used SUV reliability data, the Forester also remains a respected long-life crossover choice. Here's why it matters. Seeing the curb, the snowbank, the driveway edge, and the car in the next lane is not a luxury. It is safety. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard, so buyers do not have to hunt for the right drivetrain. The tall glass is the big win. Thin pillars, big windows, and a clear view out make icy traffic feel less stressful. For buyers, that means confidence starts before the wheels move. Current prices usually run around $9,000 to $18,000, with clean, eyesight-equipped trims and lower-mile examples higher. The 2.5 four-cylinder is the normal pick, but inspection matters. Check oil consumption, CVT behavior, wheel bearing hum, tire matching, coolant condition, suspension clunks, brake feel, all-wheel drive binding, and eyesight function if equipped. All 4 tires need to match closely. Ignore that, and you can create drivetrain stress. Choose this one when you want the smartest overall senior winter SUV, visibility, all-wheel drive confidence, easy access, and manageable ownership cost. Avoid ones with CVT shudder, wheel bearing noise, low oil, cheap mismatched tires, or warning lights. A good Forester feels steady, clear, and honest. I put it over the RAV4 because the Toyota is excellent, but the Forester gives older drivers a clearer view and standard all-wheel drive on every example. That combination matters when snowbanks shrink the road and panic rises. It helps the driver relax before the road gets bad, and that is exactly what an older winter vehicle should do. If this saves one winter mistake, subscribe. We find reliable used SUVs that protect your money and your confidence. Buyer cheat sheet. Here is the winter rule I would give any older driver. All-wheel drive helps you move, but tires help you stop. No SUV on this list beats ice with bad rubber. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. All-wheel drive is the low repair cost sleeper. Best when the budget is tight and the transmission checks out. The Ford Escape all-wheel drive is the domestic parts counterpick. Best when you want cheap, familiar repairs. The Subaru Outback is the low-step winter pick. Best when climbing into tall SUVs is uncomfortable. The Hyundai Santa Fe all-wheel drive is the comfort value choice. Best when you want room without Toyota pricing. The Mazda CX-5 all-wheel drive is the confident handling pick. Best when control matters more than size. The Honda CR-V all-wheel drive is the easy living senior pick. Best when visibility, access, and repair costs matter. The Toyota Highlander all-wheel drive is the comfortable high-mile pick. Best when you want more room and a softer ride. The Lexus RX 350 all-wheel drive is the quiet luxury pick. Best when comfort matters most. The Toyota RAV four-wheel drive is the value pick. Best when you want predictable winter ownership. The Subaru Forester is the smartest all-around senior winter pick. Best when visibility and traction matter together. Before buying any of them, check tire age, tread depth, matching brands, all-wheel drive service, brakes, heater, defroster, battery strength wipers, headlights, seat height, mirror adjustment, and whether the driver can get in, see out, and feel calm. That last part matters more than people admit. A vehicle can have the right badge and still feel wrong for the driver. Take the senior who will actually drive it on the test drive. Let them park it. Let them back up. Let them step in and out a few times. Let them load groceries. If the seat hurts, the blind spot feels scary, or the hatch is too heavy, keep shopping. Winter confidence is not just mechanical, it is physical. The driver has to feel steady before the tires ever touch snow. Also remember that a cheap all-wheel drive can get expensive when neglected. Mismatched tires, skipped differential service, weak batteries, bad wheel bearings, rusty brake lines, and old wipers can ruin a winter SUV quickly. I would rather buy a slightly older SUV with excellent tires and records than a newer one with shiny paint and bald rubber. Ask about fluids. Ask about the last battery. Ask about brake service. Ask whether the heater gets hot at idle and whether the defroster clears the windshield quickly. Those are not small things for an older driver in January. They are daily safety checks. A good senior winter SUV should feel boring in the best way. Easy start, warm cabin, clear glass, smooth shifts, straight braking, no warning lights, and no drama when the driveway is slick. If the seller rushes you, that is a warning. If the SUV smells hot after a real drive, slow down. If the tires are different brands, slow down. If the all-wheel drive warning light is on, walk away. Peace of mind comes from proof, not promises. The human reason behind every choice is simple: a steady hand on the wheel, a clear windshield, a door that opens wide, and a grocery bag loading without a struggle. That is what older drivers actually feel. A winter SUV should never feel like a gamble for the person who depends on it. When roads ice over, calm controls, warm air, bright lights, good tires, and clean brakes are not luxuries. They are the whole point. Have you owned one of these in the snow? Tell us which one made winter easier, because real owner stories help the next buyer avoid an expensive mistake. One more thing before you buy: do not let all-wheel drive become a permission slip for bad judgment. Ice is different from snow. Snow gives tires something to bite into. Ice can make any SUV feel helpless if the driver is too fast, too close, or too confident. That is why the safest senior winter setup is not just the right SUV. It is the right SUV with fresh tires, working heat, clear headlights, strong wipers, good brakes, and a driver who feels relaxed behind the wheel. If the vehicle feels too wide, too tall, too busy, too hard to park, or too confusing to control, it is not the right winter choice. I would rather put an older driver in a simple Forester or CR-V with great tires than a huge luxury SUV that they cannot see out of. Confidence is not size. Confidence is control. And control comes from fit, maintenance, and proof. Shop slowly, test everything, and never let a seller rush the decision when winter safety is on the line. There is also a money side that seniors should not ignore. Winter repairs are usually not glamorous, but they are the ones that decide whether a used SUV feels safe. A weak battery can leave you stranded in a parking lot after dark. Old wipers can smear slush until the road disappears. Cloudy headlights can turn a short drive home into a tense guessing game. Cheap tires can make all-wheel drive feel useless the first time you need to stop. That is why I would build a winter budget after the purchase price. If the SUV costs $10,000 but needs tires, brakes, a battery, wipers, fluids, and an alignment, the real price is higher. That does not make it a bad buy. It just means you need honest math before you hand over the cash. I also want seniors to think about service access. The best winter SUV is one that your local shop can maintain without drama. A Subaru shop in a snowtown knows Foresters and Outbacks. A Toyota shop knows RAV4s and Highlanders. A Honda shop knows CR-VS. A domestic shop probably knows older Escapes well. That matters when something happens during the first cold snap, and everybody in town wants service at the same time. Parts availability becomes part of safety, so before buying, call your mechanic with the exact year, engine, and model. Ask what they see as failing. Ask what tires they recommend. Ask what maintenance they would do before winter. A good mechanic will give you more truth in 5 minutes than a seller will give you in an hour. Also, never let a backup camera replace mirrors and glass. Cameras get covered with salt, sensors freeze, snow piles block views. The best senior SUVs still let the driver see naturally. That is why the Forester, Outback, CR-V, RAV4, and Highlander rank so well here. They are not perfect, but they make daily winter driving easier to judge. Last, test the SUV on the kind of roads the driver actually uses. Do not just drive on a smooth avenue in daylight. Try a parking lot. Try a tight turn. Try backing into a space. Try a bumpy road. Try getting in with a coat on. Try loading bags. If possible, test it at night because winter driving often happens in the darkness. If the headlights feel weak, the controls feel confusing, or the seat creates pain after 10 minutes, that SUV will not magically feel better in February. The right winter vehicle should lower stress, not add another thing to manage. That is the whole point of this list. Not an image, not off-road fantasy, not dealership packages. Just a used SUV that helps an older driver leave home, handle slick roads, and come back safely without turning ownership into a money drain. One final buying trick is to price tires before you buy the SUV. Some trims use larger wheels, and larger winter tires cost more. A senior may be better served by a modest trim with smaller wheels, thicker sidewalls, and cheaper tires than a fancy trim with pretty wheels and harsh rubber. Comfort and stopping power beat appearance when the road is frozen. Also, check insurance, because luxury badges and newer safety sensors can raise repair costs after a small slide into a curb. The cheapest winter SUV is not always the lowest sticker price. It is the one that stays predictable after the first storm. Buy the calmest fit, not the flashiest badge, because winter does not care what logo is on the grille when traction disappears fast. Click the next video before winter prices climb. Subscribe for reliable engines, cheaper repairs, and used SUV advice that keeps you steady.